Okay, here's part 2. I decided I'm not going to read all 33 of these. I posted the website where you guys can check them out, so you can check them out yourself. I'm going to read off what I feel is most interesting. Number 11 is counterintelligence programs against activists in the 60s. COINTELPRO, an acronym for counterintelligence program, was a series of covert and often illegal projects conducted by the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, aimed at investigating and disrupting dissented political organizations within the United States. The FBI used covert operations from its inception. However, formal COINTELPRO operations took place between 1956 and 1971. The FBI's stated motivation at the time was protecting national security, preventing violence, and maintaining the existing social and political order. According to FBI records, 85% of COINTELPRO resources were expended on infiltrating, disrupting, marginalizing, and or subverting groups suspected of being subversive, such as communists and social organizations, the women's rights movement, militant black nationalist groups, and the non-violent civil rights movement, including individuals such as Martin Luther King Jr. and others associated with the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the Congress of Racial Equality, the American Indian Movement, and other civil rights groups. Broad range of organizations labeled New Left, including Students for a Democratic Society, the National Lawyers Guild, the Weathermen, also all groups protesting the Vietnam War, and even individual student demonstrators with no group affiliation, and nationalist groups such as those seeking independence for Puerto Rico. The other 15% of COINTELPRO resources were expanded to marginalize and subvert white hate groups, including the Ku Klux Klan and National States Rights Party. The directives governing COINTELPRO were issued by FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover, who ordered FBI agents to expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit, or otherwise neutralize the activities of these movements and their leaders. Oh, here's so good. In 1985 and 86, the White House authorized, number 12, the Iran-Contra affair. The White House authorized government officials to secretly trade weapons with the Israeli government in exchange for the release of U.S. hostages in Iran. The plot was uncovered by Congress in 1987. 13. The BCCI scandal. The Bank of Credit and Commerce International was a major international bank founded in 1972 by Agha Hassan Abedi, a Pakistani financier. The bank was registered in Luxembourg. Within a decade, BCCI touched its peak. It operated in 78 countries, had over 400 branches, and had assets in excess of US $20 billion, making it the 7th largest private bank in the world by assets. In the late 1980s, BCCI became the target of a 2-year undercover operation conducted by the U.S. Customs Service. This operation concluded with a fake wedding that was attended by BCCI officers and drug dealers from around the world, who had established a personal friendship and working relationship with the undercover special agent Robert Mueller. After a 6-month trial in Tampa, key bank officers were convicted and received lengthy prison sentences. Bank officers began cooperating with law enforcement authorities, and that cooperation caused BCCI's many crimes to be revealed. BCCI came under the scrutiny of regulatory bodies and intelligence agencies in the 1980s due to its perceived avoidances of falling under one regulatory banking authority, a fact that was later, after extensive investigations, proven to be false. BCCI became the focus of a massive regulatory battle in 1991 and was described as a $20 billion plus heist. Investigators in the U.S. and the U.K. revealed that BCCI had been set up deliberately to avoid centralization regulatory review, and they operated extensively in bank secrecy jurisdictions. Its affair was extraordinarily complex. Its officers were sophisticated international bankers whose apparent objectives was to keep its affairs secret, to commit fraud on a massive scale, and to avoid detection. Number 14. CIA drug running in LA. Pulitzer Prize Award-winning journalist Gary Webb exposed this alongside LAPD narcotics officer turned whistleblower and author Michael Rupert, CIA contract pilot Terry Reed, and many others. In August 1996, the San Jose Mercury News published Webb's Dark Alliance, a 20,000-word, three-part investigative series which alleged that Nicaraguan drug traffickers had sold and distributed crack cocaine in Los Angeles during the 1980s, and that drug profits were used to fund the CIA-supported Nicaraguan Contras. Webb never asserted that the CIA directly aided drug dealers to raise money for the Contras, but he did document that the CIA was aware of the cocaine transactions and the large shipments of cocaine into the U.S. by the Contra personnel. Dark Alliance received national attention at the height of the interest. The web version of it on San Jose Mercury News website received 1.3 million hits a day, according to the Columbia Journalism Review. The series became the most talked about piece of journalism in 1996. And arguably the most famous, some would say infamous, set of articles of the decade. Okay, what's another good one? Oh, here's one. 17. July 20th, 1944. Conspiracy to assassinate Hitler. Among another 20-some-odd attempts, this one was one of the largest conspiracies involving hundreds of loyalists in the highest echelons of Hitler's inner circle. Near the end of World War II, things were rapidly going south for Germany, and the time seemed ripe for guilt-ridden Nazi officers to assassinate Hitler and overthrow his government. Colonel Henning von Treskel recruited Colonel Klaus von Stauffenberg to join the conspiracy in 1944. The plot to take out Hitler and then all of his loyal officers was called Operation Valkyrie. Oh, there's a movie called Valkyrie. Great, I lost my place. Oh, the plan was to use the continuity of governmental proceedings during an assassination on Hitler's life to take over full control of government in Germany. The assassination would be blamed on the Nazi SS and therefore allow Stauffenberg to take full control of all aspects of the government. It almost worked. In July 1944, Stauffenberg was promoted so that he could now start attending military strategy meetings with Hitler himself. On more than one occasion, Stauffenberg planned to kill Hitler at such a meeting with a briefcase bomb, but he also held off because he also wanted to take out Hitler's two right-hand men, Hermann Göring and Heinrich Himmler. On July 20th, he went for it anyway and exploded a bomb inside Hitler's conference room with a remote detonator. Hitler survived only minor injuries. Okay. I'm curious about this one. Operation Snow White, which is number 19. Sometime during the 1970s, the Church of Scientology decided that they'd had enough. Apparently, the Church of Scientology managed to perform the largest infiltration of the United States government in history, ever. 5,000 of Scientology's crack commanders wiretapped and burglarized various agencies. They stole hundreds of documents, mainly from the IRS. No critic was spared, and in the end, 136 organizations, agencies, and foreign embassies were infiltrated. Okay, we're at 10 minutes. What's another? The CIA, number 21, the CIA assassinated a lot of people. Church Committee. The Church Committee is the common term referring to the United States Senate Select Committee to study governmental operations with respect to intelligence activities. A U.S. Senate committee chaired by Senator Frank Church in 1975. A precursor to the U.S. Senate Select Committee on Intelligence. The committee investigated intelligence gathering for illegality by the CIA and FBI after certain activities had been revealed by the Watergate affair. The committee uncovered, among many other things, that the CIA had violated its charter to perform only gathering of intelligence. For example, assassinations of Adeli in Chile and Mossadegh in Iran, assassinations against Central and South American leaders and revolutionaries, as well as Africa, Middle East, and East Asia. The list was tremendous. They even declassified a heart attack gun the agency had made for the use of killing someone without it being detected. Cancer, car accidents, skiing accidents, suicide, boating accidents, heart attacks, and just plain being shot were common assassination methods. The hearings, although recorded in full in congressional record, the mainstream media official policies is still largely not taught in American schools. On recent history, the American public still has no idea this was ever actually confirmed or even took place. It is common for people to still refer to any of these assassinations as a joke or made-up conspiracy. I forgot we can go 15 minutes. I don't think my last one was 15, or close to it. I think for some reason I stopped it at 12, but it's really long. 23. The Kennedy assassination, the second investigation by Congress. Few people know about the United States House of Representatives Select Committee on Assassinations, HSCA. The HSCA was established in 1976 to investigate the John F. Kennedy assassination and the Martin Luther King Jr. assassination. The committee investigated until 1978. In 1979, issued its final report, concluding that President John F. Kennedy was probably assassinated by a conspiracy involving the mob and potentially the CIA. The House Select Committee on Assassinations undertook re-investigations of the murders of John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King Jr. In 1979, a single report and 12 volumes of appendices on each assassination were published by the Congress. In the JFK case, the HSCA found that there was a probable conspiracy, though it was unable to determine the nature of that conspiracy or its other participants besides Oswald. This finding was based in part on acoustics evidence from a tape purported to record the shots, but was also based on another evidence including an investigation of Ruby's mafia connections and potential CIA and or FBI connections to Oswald. To this day, many conspiracy deniers are unaware that the congressional investigation into JFK's assassination concluded beyond any shadow of a doubt that it was a conspiracy. What made them come to this conclusion? Aside from reading the report, many witnesses, some of whom were CIA agents and station chiefs in Dallas that morning, were killed the night before testifying. Imagine that. They were killed the night before testifying. For example, George D. Marchant was a petroleum geologist who befriended Lee Harvey Oswald during the months preceding the assassination of U.S. President John F. Kennedy. He also worked for the CIA. He also blew his brains out the night before he was to testify to the committee.